Marvel's Midnight Suns is the latest atrocity to grace your quote-unquote next-gen system, showcasing a level of graphical fidelity that would impress even the most cynical neckbeards. If said neckbeards are used to PS2 era low polygon count models, this game sucks. This game is garbage. This game is a cash-in. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I know how it's a cash-in. Because the developers previously developed a title called XCOM. If you know anything about XCOM, it is a tactical, hard-hitting, in-depth, strategic, top-down game that will leave you under the table sucking your thumb if you are not prepared. Now, this game follows the very same format as XCOM, except it removes all the tension. In XCOM, you can build and level up soldiers from being a rookie to being a master sergeant, and then they get killed in the heat of battle and there are no revives. You just lost every ounce of money, every ounce of time, and every ounce of effort you invested into that character. In Marvel's Midnight Suns, because these are licensed individuals, they simply cannot die. They will be downed, but they will not be killed, meaning that you can pony them up, a little bit of med pack, Medigel, and they'll be good to go for the next fight. Where is the tension there? Not to mention the fact that this game looks like it came straight out of the PS2 era. Seriously, I'm not joking. On Spider-Man, I can count the polygons on his suit. On Wolverine, the claws are a complete blur. This game's running at something like sub 720p resolution. I believe it was, as reported by Digital Foundry, it's hovering around 690p on the Xbox Series S and about 900p on the Xbox Series X and PS5. The frame rate is atrocious. This makes Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet look like a fluid piece of animation. I have a frame meister, meaning that I can count the frames being outputted from the console to my screen, single digits at least 25% of the time, and the other 75% of the time, you're not even reaching 30 FPS most of the time. It looks like a PowerPoint presentation. But again, the only people who this is targeted towards and the only people who are going to buy this are Marvel fans. So they're used to absolute garbage quality. They're used to countless rehashes of the same character, the same plot, the same story, the same jokes. They still laugh at the same jokes 32 movies later. I mean, you can't write that stuff. Seriously, Kevin Feige and his team over at Marvel have the easiest job in the world because they can just Control-C, Control-V the jokes, and the people who are programmed to go line up day one for these movies will still laugh at the same tired jokes. I wasn't laughing in 2008 when Iron Man came out, and I'm still not laughing at these lame jokes now. It's been over a decade. You figure the Marvel gag, the Marvel formula, the Marvel cycle, the Marvel machine would have been dried up by now, but nope, these idiots are proving that common sense is not common, and this game's going to sell in droves because it's got Marvel characters. Oh, but it's got the little Marvel characters. We gotta get Spider-Man. We gotta get Spider-Man and Iron Man. Get out of here with that nonsense. We all know that DC is objectively better than Marvel in everything. That's why Black Adam crushed Black Panther at the box office. That's why we have amazing games like Batman Arkham Asylum. That's why we have amazing games like Injustice, and you have trash like the Marvel Spider-Man on PS4. You have trash like the upcoming Wolverine game, which I actually got to play a demo of from Insomniac. It's garbage. Do not buy that trash. Marvel's Midnight Suns is nothing more than a cheap imitator of a superior strategy game. I'm a little confused as to why they chose to market this as a strategy game, given that Marvel fans have the IQ of room temperature with the air conditioning on. I'm a little confused why they thought a top-down strategy game that requires mental fortitude and the ability to tie your own shoes would be marketed towards the average Marvel fan, knowing that they can barely scrape by and rely on the charity of their parents and other people to get them through the day, and that they simply wouldn't be capable of doing so without the much needed help of others. If you're considering dropping 70 big ones on Marvel's Midnight Suns, Take solace in the fact that you could do literally anything else with that money and it would be a better purchase. You could drive down the highway and throw it out the window. There, at least there's the sliver of a chance that a homeless individual will find it and use it for something significantly better. Flush it down the toilet. You'll get more enjoyment out of watching the dollars circle the drain and disappear into the ether than you will out of Marvel's Midnight Suns. Marvel's Midnight Suns? More like Marvel's Endless Greed, because that's all this is, another Marvel video game. I actually had a little bit of hope for Marvel video games after Marvel's The Avengers came out, because that was a substantial improvement. That was the best superhero game I've ever played. It was better than Insomniac's Spider-Man. It was better than the Arkham games. It was better than any other superhero game in existence. But now I see we're just back to the same old trash. The same old, tired, bland as boring white bread trash. I mean, they couldn't even get the MCU cast to voice these characters. It's such a low-budget effort that really just spits in the face of the consumer. Where's my Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man? Where's my sweet Prince Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man? Where is anybody of relevance from the MCU? They're not. They got third-rate D-tier voice actors because they couldn't be bothered to put forth any effort or to pony up the dough. And that's the recurring theme. That's the tragedy of all this. Marvel's Midnight Suns could have been Marvel's greatest accomplishment, but instead it is an absolute flop. This game will sell in the hundreds guaranteed, because the target demographic doesn't exist. An intelligent Marvel fan hasn't been cited since the 1970s. These days, they're knuckle-dragging, mouth-drooling apes who do absolutely nothing. They don't have the mental fortitude. They don't have the wherewithal to do anything tactical, strategic, or to even better their own lives. And I can personally guarantee you, if you go out and drop 70 big ones on Marvel's Midnight Suns day one or any day that follows, you are not improving your life. You are making your life actively worse. This game is complete garbage. I don't recommend it to anybody. Doing what I do here on YouTube, Dead Metal, I have made a lot of enemies. I wouldn't even wish this upon them, because there are far, far, far better games to be playing. In your finite time here on Earth, do you want to have to look up at St. Peter when you reach the pearly gates and he's got a scroll of how you lived your life? And do you want to have to justify to him that you spent even a single solitary second of your existence playing trash known as Marvel's Midnight Suns? No, you don't. This game's garbage. This game isn't worth the disc it's printed on. It's not worth the hard drive space required to download it. And it is not worth your time. I, however, am. Please consider leaving me a super thanks. It would be much appreciated. I'll pin your comment if you drop super thanks. I don't care what it says.